Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another live stream. Today we should have a big one because we are waiting on quite a bit of hopefully early team news. I've already made a transfer, but I do have a second free transfer that I may well end up making dependent upon the team news that we get. But as always, before you jump into any of that, do say hello, let me know where you're tuning in from as well. And, we do love a good Saturday morning live stream. Hey there, you bald genius. I don't know about the genius part, but the bald part is definitely true. Good to see you, Josh. Mike's here. Mateus is here. Frosty, good to see you, my man. Hope you're all well. Metal Scream, good morning. Haaland out with a broken ego. I heard Haaland had a dodgy curry last night. Don't say, I just heard. It's just rumor mill, you know? Haaland's out due to a dodgy curry. Don't quote me on it, but... Trippier has the most chances created in the Prem. Not surprised. Trippier is absolutely amazing. Clive, good to see you in the chat, my man. How have you been? Good morning from New Zealand. Ross baby. Ross baby. It's a bit too early for me singing, I think. I need to cough already. It's not done. Good morning, Raptor. Good morning, Johnny. Hello, thanks for the chat last night. You are more than welcome. Yeah, if you're not a member, by the way, we do a Discord call, not every week, but sometimes, the night before the deadline. So, only for Rap Tier 1 members, of course. Has Haaland been watching your... I actually had a curry last night as well. I'm not going to say that was fully dodgy, but it wasn't great. Hey, how are you, Ross, from Bangladesh? Good to see you. I'm all okay, thanks. I'm all okay. Not too bad. Already got a couple of super chats. Starting them this week. Best £4.4 million or less defender. Harry Maguire. I'll have to look into that a bit more. Maybe Bulldog. Livramento or Lascelles are still fine. I'm trying to think below 4.4. Is Mikalenko still 4.4, isn't he? I don't hate Mikalenko, but obviously not great for this week. Sheriff says, hi, mate. Last minute issues. 1, start Lascelles or Cash. I'd start Lascelles. 2, start Archer or Palmer. I'd start Palmer. Oh, then they're directly against each other, aren't they? Maybe start like Cash and Palmer. Captaincy dilemma, rank them, please. Son and Haaland are the best 2 captains this week, I think. So I would go like Cash, Palmer, Haaland or Son. Ross, when can we do a members Google Meets candlelit dinner? That sounds like a good idea. Maybe you should do that at some point. That would be beautiful. Right. I shall show you the transfer that I made. I made a transfer last night. What do we think it was? Let's see how well you know me. To avoid the price changes, because there were price changes last night, what transfer do you think I made? Oh, my Invisalign is cutting my tongue. That's not good. Oh, well, we soldier through. Cash to James, and you're going to regret it next week. Nice. Thanks, Frosty. I appreciate that. Oh, chat, you all know me so well. Don't you know me so well? Here we go. Boom. I did cash to James. Now, before you all start giving me nonsense, firstly, I enjoy pain. Like, I am a man that owns Darwin and Reece James. These are the kind of players that I like in FPL. And also, my team is very different to anyone else's. So I won't have any... I don't own Haaland. I've got Martinelli, James, Darwin, you know. We mix it up here on this channel. And I just think that jumping on a player such as Sir Reece James before anyone else can get him is massive. And before he starts rising in price, I know he could get injured, but the data's always great. Like, he came off the bench for 23 minutes and accumulated 0.38 expected assist. I mean, against 2 decent opposition, he's still creating chances. He had a chance to score against Man City. I just like Reece James a lot. And I feel like he's been very, very fit recently in comparison to how we've seen him in previous seasons. So it's just getting on him ahead of this run here. If I had one free transfer, I wouldn't have made the move. Of course not. But when you've got 2 frees and you don't have anything you need to do this week, it's about trying to get ahead to future weeks. And I know at some point I want a Chelsea defender. So fingers crossed he can stay fit. This isn't ideal here, right? Chelsea play Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. I'm not expecting him to start all 3. I'm kind of hoping this is the one he misses because I think it's the most difficult fixture for him for a clean sheet. So, but we'll see. What do we think? Did you know Reece James last played 2 consecutive games back in 2003? False. False information. I love Reece James. I love him. And like I said, we do mix it up here, you know? We don't just do the obvious moves. We're not about that life. Good morning, FPL Pickle. Good to see you in the chat. Hope you're well. Ross, are we starting Bowen? Unless we get news that he's not with the squad or we get news that he's on the bench, then yeah, I'm starting Bowen. Who do you love more, your girlfriend or Reece James? Who do I love more, my girlfriend or Reece James? I think the answer to that question is Darwin Nunez. The answer to that question is Darwin Nunez. You can't tell me I'm template anymore, chat. I've sold Haaland. I've got Son captain. I own Martinelli. I've got Reece James there as well. My girlfriend just messaged me, rude. sorry. I don't mean it. Do love Darwin, though. We do love Darwin. Around Darwin and Alvarez, by the way, I'm hoping we get early team news, and I'll just... If one of them is benched, I'll obviously bench the one that is benched in real life, and if both of them start, I've just got to back Darwin. I just think Darwin is my boy. His data is much better than Alvarez. And I think if he starts in any given game, I back him to do well. So if we get news that Darwin starts, I'll keep it as it is. If we don't get any early team news, that's a much more difficult one because Alvarez will start. We don't know if Darwin will. So maybe if we don't get any early team news, I start at Alvarez ahead of Darwin, maybe. We'll have to wait and see. Ross has been muttering James in his sleep. Have to go to sleep. See you at 10:30. Okay, go to sleep then. We'll wake up just before the deadline. Make sure you leave my stream on, though, for that ad revenue, you know. Hi, Ross. What do you think of Akuda's captain punt? I don't hate it. He's looked pretty good. My worry is if Bowen is out and Antonio's out, what's that front three going to look like? And is it going to be enough to score multiple goals against Burnley? You'd still imagine it is. I think there are better captaincy options than Kudus this week for me. Darwin is the strangest of hills to die on. Let's have a look, shall we? Forwards. Darwin is the 5th top scoring forward. Why is that a strange hill to die on? You know? I think it's pretty good hill to die on. You can see last 3 games, or out of the last 5, he started 4 of them. Got returns in 4 of the 5 games. Accumulated 1.17, 0.91 XGI. Got an 11 pointer against Newcastle, an 8 pointer against Villa, a 6 pointer against West Ham. I mean, the man is doing well. He's got 10 attacking returns this season in less than 600 minutes, which means an attacking return every 60 minutes. So if Darwin plays 90 minutes, you're expecting to get 1.5-ish returns. I know Man City is obviously a difficult opposition, but he scored 2 in 11 minutes against Newcastle. He scored against Aston Villa as well. Darwin is that guy. You know? I think it's a... Whoa, it's glitched out. I think it's a hill I'm happy to die on, to be perfectly honest. I just love Darwin, which is weird as a Man United fan. I will admit that, but I do. And I love Reece James, and I love Sterling, and I love Foden. I love the players that cause you pain. Right? Everyone else is like, oh, we're going to avoid Sterling, he's a troll. We're going to avoid Foden, he's a troll. I'm like, I want all of those players. Is Bowen starting? Is Bowen starting? I probably should have had something on the screen which says I don't know if Bowen's starting, shouldn't I? I don't know. I have no idea, but I will be starting him. Mark with the super chat says, Ross, I have 2 free transfers and nothing I want to do for different reasons. Would you do Areola to Sanchez or Taylor to Castagna to use a transfer? I like Areola. I like Turner to Sanchez. Can you afford Turner to Sanchez? I like the idea of keeping Areola. So if you have a look, Areola and Sanchez rotate really nicely. So the weeks where you wouldn't want to play Areola, like 15, 18, 19, like coming up. Then when you look at like the Chelsea fixtures for Sanchez, slightly better Man United. And then was it 18, 19, Wolves and Palace. And it just goes on for the rest of the season. So I think at some point, if you can make your way to Sanchez and Areola rotation, I think that will be the best thing rather than going for like just having Sanchez. Although, I mean, the fixtures coming up for Chelsea are fantastic. Up until here. So maybe go for it. And then you may even end up wildcarding in that spell anyway. But yeah, I think if you can get Areola and Sanchez, that's a really nice keeper rotation. A bit masochist, Ross. Yeah, I'm a bit of a masochist for sure. Morris and Matoma to Eze and Calvert-Lewin, Diaby captain. Morris and Matoma to Eze and Calvert-Lewin. Calvert-Lewin. I think he'd probably do better than Calvert-Lewin. Diaby captain. I don't hate it. I prefer Watkins captain, though, because you know he'll get 90 minutes. Like, Diaby could get an early sub again. Lol, James will get injured again. If he gets injured again, he gets injured again. You know? It's a risk I'm willing to take. It's only 1 transfer if I have to take him out. I know it's technically 2 because I brought him in as well, but oh well. Alvarez to Solanke, 2 free transfers. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Sorry for putting my finger in my mouth. My Invisalign's cutting my tongue. I can taste blood. It's nice. As you like. Hi, Ross. Bench 1. Bowen, Mbermo, Alvarez, or Diaby? Bench 1. Ooh. I would bench Alvarez. Ash, you're right. Any player can get injured. This is true. This is absolutely true. No love for Trossard, I see. What do you mean no love for Trossard? I mean, I've already got 2 Arsenal mids. I'm not going to bring in a third one. I don't have an issue with Trossard. I don't have an issue at all. Currently on my wildcard, should I start Wood or Palmer? Palmer. Oh, yeah, Palmer. I just wouldn't be benching Palmer if you have him. I think Palmer's you just start in every fixture. He's on pens, great minutes, great data. Chelsea are playing well. I mean, I've got Trippier, so I hope I'm wrong there, but I would just be starting Palmer. Good morning, Ross. Good morning, Claudette. Good to see you. Ross, do you think Jackson is going to get less time with Nkunku coming back? Yes. Yeah, I do. I mean, we still don't know whether Nkunku will be preferred as the 10 or as the 9, but even if he's preferred as the 10, I think there'll be a lot of games where Jackson comes off early and Nkunku stays on, or Palmer goes to the 9. I just think there's going to be a lot more rotation with that Chelsea team. Thanks, Ross. Struggling with the bench choice today. Spurs fan playing 3 Villa players. That is tough. I think there will be goals in that Spurs Villa game, though. Are you captaining Son? I think for me it's between Son and Haaland this week for captaincy, and obviously I don't have Haaland, so it makes it easy for me. By the way, if you are enjoying today's stream, please smash that like button. It helps to spread the stream out to other people, and obviously make sure you subscribe while you're down there as well. But definitely make sure to smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. Do you think Palmer keeps pens when Nkunku is back? He is so good, so why take them off? There's 2 schools of thought here, right? The first is that Nkunku was probably on pens at the start of the season before he got injured, and Nkunku has a good record. The other school of thought is that Palmer has taken 4 now for Chelsea and scored all 4, and he's been pretty convincing with those 4 penalties. So why would you take penalties off a player that's already scored 4 of them for you? I think my prediction is that Palmer keeps pens unless he misses one, or if Nkunku wins a pen, or maybe he's low on confidence and he's struggling to score when he comes back, maybe Palmer gives him a pen then. It may be a similar situation to what we see with Saka at Arsenal, where Palmer is first choice on pens, but he doesn't take every penalty. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Why is Julian on the bench? Who would you start? Who would you bench instead of Julian? This is the thing. By the way, this is the current plan. Lots of people wanting to know how I'm bringing Haaland back in, of course, as you could imagine. Plan. This week, Reece James in. Right? That's the only transfer I plan on making. But obviously, if I need to make another transfer, I may well do so. Game week 14, the plan is to bring in Mbeumo for Martinelli. Right? So, James in for cash this week. Mbeumo for Martinelli next week. Then after that, the plan is to do Watkins down to Mbeumo. Hear me out here. Watkins down to Mbeumo, because I don't really want Watkins for that sort of spell coming up. So just the one transfer, that will give me 4.7 in the bank. And then with my 2 free transfers in 16, the plan is Bowen to Palmer and then Darwin to Haaland, which leaves me with this team. In game week 16, no hits required to get Haaland back in. The only issue is that plan has 0.3 in the bank. So I may have to take a -4 if I end up getting priced out, because Mbeumo, Palmer, etc. probably will keep rising in price. And there is a chance that I get a price fall on Bowen if he's not performing. So, yeah, I think it's a good plan. I think that's a really good team as well. I've got no issues with it. Obviously, if James gets injured, then that's another transfer I need to make. So I'm willing to risk that. But, yeah, the only issue is then in going into game week 18, I've got Tsimikas I don't really want. James is always a bit of a rotation risk. I have Mbeumo, Alvarez and Haaland and Mbeumo. And I've got no Aston Villa. And remember that Aston Villa play against Sheffield United at home. So, the updated plan is to free hit in game week 18. Now, a lot of people will say, why not save it for a bigger blank or a bigger double? And I get that. But I don't think you need to this season, because there's probably only one big blank game week, which will be game week 29. And there's probably only one big double, which will be the same as it is every year, which is game week 37. Now, there will be 1 or 2 other double game weeks, and there will also be a blank game week in game week 26. But there won't be loads of big blanks and doubles this. I mean, last season, I think we had something like 14 double game weeks. There will be no more than 4 this season. So, yeah, that's the current plan at the moment. Haaland in 16, free hit in 18. Shouldn't need to take too many hits. Unless everything goes to pot and I need to start making loads of transfers. Super chat. Yeah, I'm answering the super chats now. Please explain the Reece James transfer and plans. I've just explained my plans. The Reece James transfer was simple. I want a Chelsea defender moving forward. I've got 2 frees this week. Cash is a player that I don't desperately want long term. And therefore, I've used this opportunity. I don't think Reece James will do great this week, but I've used this opportunity to get 1 transfer ahead. So, yeah, that's the Reece James. And obviously, we know how good his attacking data is. We know what his upside's like. We know that Chelsea have been decent defensively this season too. So, I'm hopeful. I've got Raya, Strakosha, what to do. 2 free transfers. You could do Strakosha to Areola if you want to. I would probably just play without a goalkeeper. I don't think that the transfer is worth the amount of points you're likely to gain by making a goalkeeper transfer. So I would just keep it as is and use your transfers elsewhere, personally. Fury Grind says, morning Raptor, 2 free transfers, 0 in the bank. Johnston, Gabriel, Cash, Gahey, Salah, Saka, Son, Adingra, Bowen, Haaland, Watkins. What are your thoughts? Had Adingra for his 9-pointer. Yeah, really nice team. I don't like Adingra though. So longer term, I'd be looking to remove. I mean, his data's really bad. Not that he won't get you points, but the data's not great for Adingra. And he's also a rotation risk too. So Adingra to Palmer could be a move that you could make this week, which puts you in a good position moving forward. That would probably be along the lines of what I would do. Father says, hi, Ross. 85 points last game week. Very nice, as always. Very nice team. 1 free transfer. What would you do here? I'm stuck. Honestly, team looks fine. I'd roll your transfer in that position. Yeah, I'd roll your transfer. I don't think you need to make a transfer there desperately. Will Haaland play? Yeah, I think Haaland will play. I don't know that for sure, but I'm almost certain. Forwards are already stinky at the moment. Højlund to Solanke looking most likely. I don't mind Solanke moving forward. Ross, can we get an early captaincy poll? Of course we can. Who is your captain for game week 13? Thoughts on a game week 13 wildcard with a broken team? Areola, Saliba, Mikalenko, Simicas, Mbeumo, Palmer, Salah, Saka, Son, Haaland, Darwin, Turner, Archer, Walker, Taylor. Yeah, that's fine. Just bear in mind there that you've got... Your team wouldn't look great for game week 18 is the only slight concern I would have around that. Who's your captain? Haaland, Son, Salah... Other comment. Yeah, let's go with that. Right, 2 seconds, chat. I just need to very briefly do something, but I'll be back in like 2 seconds, literally. I'm back. Rapid time. Tesco delivery arrived. No, my Invisalign's cutting my tongue. I had literal blood in my mouth. So Invisalign's like those invisible braces that when you get a new one, they're quite sharp. I could actually taste blood. It was cutting my tongue so badly. So I just put a little bit of numbing gel on it. I'm back. That's 34 seconds. You lied. You timed me. Don't time me. Raptor gone for a smoke. I hate when literally is not used literally. All right, Connor. Grammatics police. Grammatics? That was semantics and grammar police mixed. Semantics police. We love you, Raptor. We do. We don't love Raptor. Invisalign, better leave our egg alone. Good morning from Denmark. Good morning. Does Bowen start? Who knows? I think it's a situation where if he's fit, he'll start, and if he's not fit, he won't go with the squad. So I would feel comfortable starting him. But yeah, think about your bench order. If you don't have a good first sub, you want to either sort out your bench or maybe take the risk and just sell Bowen. For me, I'll have either Darwin or Alvarez first sub, so I don't mind too much if he's missed. Yeah, I'll get to the super chats. Good point. A says, who to bench? Lascelles, Cher, Maguire, Gabriel, Taylor. Bought and Burmo and Cher this game week. Is benching Gabriel a mistake? I would bench Taylor. Probably Taylor and Lascelles and play Cher, Maguire, Gabriel. I wouldn't bench Gabriel personally, A. Connell says, play Archer or Diaby, leaning towards Archer at the moment. I would definitely play Diaby myself. Is Cash out? No, Cash isn't out, Josh. Cash is not out. I think he'll be fine. He's been in training all week. The only reason he didn't go on international duty and the only reason he was flagged was because he wanted to make sure that he didn't damage his shoulder, which he's only just recovered from. So it was like a preventative thing rather than being injured already. Glenn says, Adingra or Solanke? Love watching your vids. Best FPL content by far. Thank you, Glenn. I would go Solanke myself there. Adingra's data's not great at all. I would be fine with Archer, but I will just make the point that I made on the Discord call last night because I don't think people realise how bad this is. If you go on XGI per 90 for forwards, I'll show you where Archer is. Archer's here. So when I say that Archer is the worst forward in the game, I quite literally mean he's the worst forward, right? Because all of the ones below don't get any minutes. I mean, Brewster kind of gets some, but only 164, and then the rest of them have got less than 30 minutes. So Archer is the worst forward in the game, genuinely. That doesn't mean that he won't return in any given game, as he has, but he has a 0.1 XGI. To put that into context, by the way, these are all of the defenders that have a better XGI. Bogle, Kabore, Mikalenko, Ben Mee, Patterson, Davinson Sanchez, Bolly, Zinchenko, Dazassi, Cucurella, Wan-Bissaka, Rafael Varane, Ake, Dunk. Like, all of these defenders have more attacking threat than Archer. Not to beat down on the guy too much, but this is why, like, if I was to bring in a forward, I don't even know if I would go Archer. Like, again, in any given week, he could, of course, do well, but to be the worst forward in the game is quite some doing. So, yeah, I'll leave it there. I won't keep beating down the guy, but wow. Bad data. Spurs and Villa looks like a goal fest. Yeah, I think so as well. I think there will be goals in both the Spurs-Villa game and also the Man City-Liverpool game. I would expect goals in both. Oh, the reason I spoke about Archer is someone said, would you be fine with Archer first bench? Of course. Like that's fine to have him as a backup if you need him, but like I wouldn't want to rely on him on a regular basis. And some people are like, should I start Archer ahead of Bowen or Diaby? There's not a chance in how I would be doing that personally. Again, Archer in any given week could score. Bournemouth at home's a great fixture, but when we're looking at the data, terrible. Sorry. Really not good. Hi Ross, what do you think about Rashford to Mbeumo? I like that a lot. What do you think about Toffolo? Toffolo's a great shout. I was actually listening to Mark Southerns talk about Toffolo last night. If we go back to the defenders and we look at XGI at per 90, Toffolo features relatively well, but it's more in recent games, isn't it? Yeah, so if we go into like the last 6 or so, is his data improved then? It's okay. What was they looking at? Was they looking at the last 4? I was looking at the data on Black Box and the Toffolo featured relatively highly. Yeah, it's improved a bit recently. He's making a lot of crosses, Toffolo. So at 4.4, you could definitely do a lot worse. Definitely do a lot worse. But I mean, if we're looking at defenders with the most attacking threat, if we remove... No, we want Loman's players, but obviously ignore Zanka, Laporte. I haven't played enough. Chilwell. We're looking at Matty Cash, Reece James, Trippier, Simicast, Trent. Luke Shaw, when he's back, always carries some attacking threat, but he might be at centre-back. Pedro Porro. I mean, Dunk's attacking threat has been decent enough. Henry. 8 Nuri obviously features very, very highly up. Dizassi's attacking threat hasn't been bad, and he looks relatively nailed at the moment, Dizassi, so could be a decent shout. Mikalenko, of course, has really good attacking data if you want to take a risk on an Everton defender. Toffolo is up there as well, towards the top of the list. Pinnock doesn't have terrible data. It depends what you're looking for. It depends on the weeks that you need your defender to feature as well, I guess. If you had Haaland, would you still captain Son? I think it's difficult to say, because I'm going to say yes, but I don't know that. Right? My thinking would be very different if I actually owned Haaland. But I think if you look at a lot of managers, they do own Haaland and they're still captaining Son. So it's not like it's only the non-Haaland owners are captaining Son. But yeah, I think, anyway, I think I would still captain Son if I had Haaland. As a Liverpool fan, really don't want to captain Haaland, but also don't want to potentially end the week with the big red arrow. That's fair enough. Do you know what? I like the fact that Haaland plays in the first game because it can only get better from there. The only player that really batters my rank every week is Haaland. So if Haaland scores like a brace or a hat-trick and then I fall to 1 million, well, then I can only improve my rank from there probably, hopefully. I still don't have any information on Bowen. Sorry. I'm going to start him and keep him, but I have no information. I will keep my eye out. West Ham play today at 3 p.m. So there is a small chance that we get some information around Bowen. Especially because it's an away game, right? The fact that Bowen should have either travelled with the squad or not travelled with the squad, there's a small chance someone releases some information around that. So I'll keep my eye on it, but I'm not overly hopeful. Stormzy, if you're watching, don't know if you are, apparently Evan Ferguson, there's some embargoed quotes have come out and said that Ferguson could start the game. I watched him in a better physical condition. I told him the same thing this morning. So there's a chance Ferguson starts. But I would still be tempted to sell anyway, just because he's not been fantastic. But there's that chance that you do get a start out of him if you need it. Yeah, no early team news yet, but I think more likely it's 9:30 now. I reckon 10:15 to 10:30 is when we'll probably start to expect to see some early team news. Trippier is due a big score today. I would love a Trippier 9-pointer. Do you know what? If Newcastle-Chelsea ends 0-0, I would be so happy. Bonus points for James and Trippier, 8 and 9-pointer or something like that. Oh, beautiful. I can't see it. I think there will be goals in the game, but you never know. It could also be a tight affair. I wouldn't be surprised. Newcastle keep it very tight. Sorry. What a man Stormzy is. I'll send you the quotes that I just saw. Where is it? I've answered that one. Hi, Ross. Team is Trippier, Porro, Trent, Cash, Lamptey, Salasson, Kudus, Foden, Gordon, Solanke, Ferguson, Watkins. 0.6 in the bank. What to do, who to buy and bench. I mean, the team's looking good. Benching decisions look relatively straightforward. Lamptey, probably Lamptey, well, actually, Lamptey, Cash, and Ferguson probably are the players I would bench there. 2 free transfers. I mean, it's up to you what you're looking to try and achieve for your team. You could move Foden to Mbermo this week if it's not a great week for Foden. 2 free transfers, stuck on what to do. Livramento, Simicast, Trippier. Okay, you give me your... Try not to give me your whole teams, chat, because otherwise I'm then just reading out entire teams. Try to give me, like, this or this kind of questions. Any ideas? I mean, you know your team so much better than I do. You know what your plan is so much better than I do. I mean, your bench looks very weak. So I wonder if you've got enough money to sort out your bench, that would probably be the way that I would lean there. Trippier, Dalot, or Trent, just one to play. Just one to play. Probably Trips then. It's definitely Trippier or Trent, but I'd probably go Trips. There we go. Oh, the camera's gone already. That's a poor effort from the camera today. Very poor effort. Alvarez captain. I'm not sure about that one. I know obviously people are captaining Haaland, but Haaland's a different beast to Alvarez. Do you think Darwin's starting? Would you put the captaincy on him? I wouldn't captain him. I don't think he'll start, actually. But I've got him in there just in case. I've got a feeling it could be Jota, Diaz, and Salah. Why is Saka not in contention for captaincy? Saka's pretty stinky away from home. So until Saka starts to improve his data away from home, I'm not interested, sadly. Hi, Ross. Could you explain why Son over Salah is captain? Oh, the bloody camera's having a nightmare today. Salah over Son. Son over Salah. I think the home game, firstly. I think Salah's much better at home. Most players are better at home. I think the high line of Villa will suit Son. And I think it's a difficult fixture for Salah. I know Salah scored in recent games against Man City. But to be fair, I think Salah will return. It's just I think there's less chance of like 2 or 3 returns. Whereas with Son, I could see it... Camera? There we are. I could see it being more likely that Son gets 2+ returns. Reece James to get a 59th minute sub. I hope not. That'd be very sad. What's he got in his last 2? 76 and 63. He is flirting with it a bit, isn't he? Nah, I do think he'll get an early sub, but I think that can benefit players, defenders sometimes. As long as he gets subbed post 60, I'd be pretty happy with that. I think the thing that benefits James is he chose not to go on international duty. Right? I think Southgate suggested that he would have been called up, but James wanted to work on his recovery. So he should be fit enough to get 60 mins. Unless he gets re-injured, of course. We'll see. Have to bench one of Ferguson, Diaby, Gordon. Any thoughts? Probably Ferguson, just because we don't know if he'll start. Eze brace against Luton. Could happen. The main man, Chunks, I think went for Eze this week, which is a cheeky little transfer. I'd quite like Eze myself. 3,500 watching. Smash the like button, please. You heard the man. Smash the like button. Make sure to subscribe as well. We are close to 106,000 subs. So if you want to smash that subscribe whilst you're smashing the like, just smash everything. Beat up the like button. Beat up the subscribe button. I'd appreciate it. If you couldn't afford Reece James, who would you have gone to? Probably Colwill. If not Colwill, maybe Gabriel. I still feel like Gabriel will start more than he won't. So I still feel Gabriel's a good transfer. Spurs were so poor against Wolves that I don't trust them. Do you know what? Yes, but I will just make a comment. Do you remember who else were very poor against Wolves? City. City lost 2-1 to Wolves. And not only did they lose 2-1 to Wolves, Haaland accumulated 0 XG. Wolves away is a tough fixture. Like, Wolves have now beaten Spurs and City 2-1 at home. If we look at, like, where is Haaland? Just to confirm. I don't think he took a single shot, did he? Against Wolves. Oh, he did. 0.06 XG. I mean, to limit Haaland to his lowest XG of the season shows how good Craig Dawson is. But no, it shows that Wolves aren't this isn't a good game. To go away to Molineux is tough. I mean, if we just have a look at their fixtures. Oh, Dawson's suspended. They're going to struggle a little bit then. At home, they've beat Spurs, drawn with Newcastle, drew with Villa, beat City. Okay, and then they lost to Liverpool and Brighton. But since that City game, I mean, it's been like a fortress there. And they've conceded very limited XG as well. Newcastle, they conceded 2, but they've been decent. They've been decent at home. So I don't think that was the best test for how Spurs are going to feature without their key players, is all I'll say. Lowest XGI. He accumulated 0.17 expected assist, didn't he? Harry Pinero says, Raptor, we love you. I love you too, Harry. Thoughts on bringing in Sterling? What do we think, chat? Harry wants to bring in Sterling. Do you know what? I actually don't mind it. My concern with Sterling, and this is getting a bit tactical now, once Nkunku comes back, let's say that it is Jackson preferred as the 9, which I do think for the time in it will be. So Jackson as the 9, Nkunku as the 10, which means if Nkunku's the 10 and Jackson's the 9, Palmer goes out to the right, which leaves only the left wing for all of their other players. Now, I think Sterling's first choice, but do I think Sterling's nailed once Nkunku comes back? I'm not so sure. He has got 90 in his last 3. I would say Sterling's a fine pick. I think he'll start more often than he doesn't, but once Nkunku's back, he could be a slight risk, but we don't know exactly when Nkunku's back. I prefer Palmer to Sterling, but Sterling's fine as an option. Just a slight risk on the rotation. Stop spamming Bowen in the chat. I still don't know what's happening with Bowen. I'm going to keep Bowen, but that's not because I have any news. All we've got is what we had yesterday. I'll get up the exact quote just so that I'm not lying to you. It was, here we go. We hope Jared will be available tomorrow against Burnley, but we will make a decision on that tomorrow. Can't sell him now, I don't think, was my opinion on it, but we hope he'll be available tomorrow, which means he is fit to play tomorrow. I assume that means there'll be a late fitness test. As long as he passes that, you'd expect him to start. So I think he's more likely to start than not. And I also think that he'll either start or miss out. I don't think he'll just be on the bench, but I could be wrong. By the way, we could do a repeat of this, couldn't we? Only just over a year ago. I think this was when Steven Gerrard was in charge. But let's ignore that. Let's ignore that. That doesn't play into the narrative that we want. Was Gerrard in charge? Yeah, I think Gerrard was in charge. Son hat-trick. I think he also got an assist for the Kulusevski goal. I think it was 3 goals and 1 assist. I would love that. Yes, please. Yes, please. Right. If Darwin and Bowen are benched, will you transfer one out? If we get a leak that Bowen's benched, I'll probably remove him. I won't remove Darwin. I want Darwin for the next few. Mr. Miyagi's. I've done that one. I think that's it. Alvarez and Gordon out for bench fodder forward and Bowen/Eze and switch to a 3-5-2 from a 3-4-3, or rather keep Alvarez and play him. I have 2 free transfers. I like the idea of switching to a 3-5-2 and getting Eze in. Yeah, I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I would go for that. I like the sound of that. I really should have added something to my screen which says I don't have any information on Bowen. Because people just join and go, Bowen! Bowen! For what it's worth, Alvarez has been decent recently. But these are his returns, right? He's not shown a real ability to pop off. I'm not going to say ignore this, because it happened, but they thrashed Bournemouth 6-1. Yes, he accumulated a lot of expected assists, but outside of that, 0.15 XG, 0.06, 0.12, 0.32, 0.15, 0.09. Alvarez's data is... Is that camera froze again? It's outrageous. Outrageous. Alvarez's data has been okay, but he's not striking me as the kind of player that's going to go out there and get multiple returns. So yes, I could bench a return from Alvarez, but I don't think... Only on 2 occasions has he had more than 1 return in a single game, which were the 2 games in Game Week 4 and then Game Week 5. I love your camera, Ross. I hate my camera. It's probably time I actually get a new camera. I might just have to suck it up. It doesn't normally play up this much, though. This is the worst it's ever been. I need to get enough super chats to buy a camera first. There we go. I'm back. Don't know what happened there. Start 2 of James, Gabriel, and Lascelles. I'd go James and Gabriel. Does Reece James for a hit outscore Simicast and Porro for 13 and 14? No. No. Bruno Fernandes as captain? No. Diaby/Gordon to Palmer/Mbeumo this week or wait? I think you can wait on that. I don't like Palmer and Mbeumo's fixtures, and I do really like Diaby's. So I think I would want to keep Diaby for another week or 2. So I would wait on that. Thinking Matoma to Gibbs-White. What do you think? I'm not a massive fan of Gibbs-White. I think he's being played in a position where he's not fantastic. Yeah, could work. How expensive is Gibbs-White? $5.7. Oh, his data's rubbish. Rubbish. I think you could do a lot better than that. 5.7-ish if you want to spend around that price. Cheeky punt on Elise. I mean, only just started to feature that. Elise's a baller. Brennan Johnson's that data has actually been okay. I mean, very limited info that we've got, but when he plays, his data's not awful. Could just go Palmer. I guess there's not a ton of options in and around that price. Yeah. I'll try and get up a little bit more if you can. Eze is probably the one. If you've got Matoma, I would probably just go... If you don't want to go in Burma, I would just go Eze. It's very boring, but the best 3 replacements for Matoma are Mbermo, Eze, and Palmer. For me, anyway. And maybe Kudus. Maybe I'll chuck Kudus in there as a 4th option. What are your transfer plans? I've already made 1 transfer, which was cash to Reece James. I'm probably planning to roll the second free transfer, but I could be convinced to make a move. If we get early team news that, like, Darwin and Bowen are benched, I'm probably not in a great spot. But I don't think we'll get news around Bowen, sadly, so I think it's just Darwin and Alvarez. So I'll probably end up just rolling the second free. Being bold and going Anderson captain against Luton. Good luck. Good luck. Seriously considering Watkins' punt over Son as captain. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, I don't have any issues with that at all. Is there anything wrong with Cash? Nope, Cash is absolutely fine. Where's the fleece from? Under Armour. You can't see that. Under Armour. It's nice little. It's called a Sherpa. I don't know if they still sell it. Yeah, it was called a something Flurper. That was a fleece. Oh, Flurper. I've termed that. Copyright that. Copyright that stuff. Would you bring in Bowen for Diaby if we get news? No, Diaby's a great shout this week. Everyone's so desperate to sell Diaby. I've got no idea why. Bowen for Bernardo Silva. I don't even know in which direction you're going. You're selling Bernardo Silva for Bowen. I wouldn't buy Bowen this week unless we get news. Having Haaland in a thumbnail and not in your team is criminal. Why? It's not all about my team. That'd be very narcissistic if everything was about my team. Here's my team, here's my team, here's my team. Everyone else wants to know about Haaland. Does he start? Is he the best captain? I am not a narcissistic man. How would you bench? Who would you bench? Maguire, Gabriel, or Mitchell? Maguire, probably. Would you go Lascelles or Branthwaite? Lascelles. Do you know what it's time for, chat? It's time for a captaincy wheel spin. We trust the wheel with our lives. The wheel is never wrong. Is there anyone else that deserves to be in the captaincy shout for the wheel? Eze? I don't know if I want to put Saka and stuff in there. I think I'll leave it there. We could put Bowen in. Yeah, do you know what? We'll put Bowen in and then I'll leave it. Don't want to put too many options in the wheel spin. First of 2. Best of 3. First of 2. I'll tell you what. We need some VAR for that. I mean, hello? I mean, it is. I need some new glasses. I'm not squinting. It is just about on Son. I can confirm, after doing the VAR check, I need a whistle. I need a whistle. That is on Son. Okay, so Son's winning 1-0. Let's play again. Okay, the wheel thinks there'll be goals in that Villa Spurs game. I'll tell you what, there are a lot of close spins this morning. The Will's feeling indecisive. Indecisive, Will. Boo. 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 The Will sucks. No, I'm only joking. I wouldn't say that to you, the Will. Oh dear. Okay, apparently the best captain is Eze. Okay, Eze's the best captain, but we're gonna remove Eze for people that don't have Eze, and we're gonna spin until we get a more popular player. But Eze, if you own him, the will says you should captain Eze. Bloody hell. Okay. Right, this is the spin. Watkins. There we go, chat. The two best the two best captaincy shouts are Eze and Watkins. Okay? Don't blame me, blame the Will if it goes wrong. Stuck on who to start. You give me your entire team. Again, try not to give me your entire team, guys, because it makes it very difficult on the stream. I would bench Martinez, Dallo, Colwill, and Alvarez. There you go. Hi, mate. Start Gordon or Diaby and Cash or Udogi. I would start... I'd start Diaby and Udogi there. Oh, I guess they're playing against each other, though. I still... Maybe you back Villa to do one over. Maybe Diaby and Cash. Is Colwill a good replacement for Cash in place of Maguire this week? I mean, Colwill this week isn't a great option. Like, Reece James isn't a great option this week either. I didn't bring in Reece James expecting him to be a good option this week. But longer term, Colwill's a great pick, I think, yeah. Thoughts on Zinchenko? He's just a bit of a rotation risk, isn't he? Like, I was looking at his minutes last night on our members Discord call. By the way, if you do want to sign up to be YouTube member, there's a join button next to the subscribe button, or there'll be a link in the description, or a Patreon. As long as you're a Rap Tier 1 member or better, then we'll do like Discord calls and you can ask me about your team and stuff like that. I don't really plug my Patreon too much, but there is a link down below to my Patreon and also a YouTube membership. If you want some more access to FPL Raptor, and don't be sus, I don't mean it like that. Zinchenko. These are his minutes, right? 74, 45, 90, 17, 90. It just feels like he'll miss one in every 3 or 4 games, or at least start on the bench. And the issue with Zinchenko is he always cameos when he doesn't start. So it's not even like you'll get someone else off the bench. So in the weeks where he comes on, I should say, you're just going to get a 1-pointer most of the time. I prefer Gabriel to Zinchenko, honestly. Because at least with Gabriel, when he misses out, he's less likely to come on. Two in the bank, 2 mil in the bank. Matoma out. 1 by whom? 2 sub in Udogi or Broja. Already have Bruno, Palmer, Diaby, Salah in midfield. Captain Haaland, Salah or punt on Johnston. There are so many questions there. Matoma out for Mbermo probably is the one I would go for. Or Eze. Same answer every time. I would captain Haaland over Salah. I would not punt on a Johnston captain, no. I'm so tempted to go Son over Haaland just so I can stretch out my FPL involvement this game week. To be fair, yeah, a lot of us have a lot of players and maybe a captain involved in the first game of the game week, but it could put you off to an amazing start. So I don't hate it. Should I get Solanke in for Alvarez? It depends on the rest of your team. Yeah, it is another player to play in Game Week 18. Solanke plays against... Is it Sheffield United away? Why can I not remember the Bournemouth fixture? Is it Sheffield United away? No. Nottingham Forest away. Sorry. Forest away. It's not a great fixture, but it is another player. I don't mind Solanke. I just think temper your expectations with what you're getting from him, right? He's the fourth top scoring forward in FPL, but I know he just got a 13-pointer. This is what you're likely to get from Solanke. A goal every 3 games or so. I know he's been getting more like a goal every 2 games thus far, but a goal every 2 to 3 games, okay for bonus points, but not great, right? He's not got 3 bonus points at any point this season, apart from in Game Week 12, right? 1 bonus point, 1 bonus point, 1 bonus point. So if you're happy with 6 and 7 pointers every now and again, then Solanke's a fine pick. If you're expecting to bring him in and him to get double-digit returns all the time, it's just not going to happen. Oh. I just broke my... That's a shame. I don't even know how I did that or how to fix that. Oh no. Chat, code red. Have I broke that on all of them? Okay, no, just that one. How did I do that? I don't even know how I did that, chat, sadly. So there's going to be no slideshow above my head. This is when you're not good at technology and you break things. Enjoy nothing being above my head for the time being. There's just an empty space. How about Solanke as captain? I don't know about captain. I don't mind him, but I don't think captaincy's the best shout. Again, just because I don't think he has a massive ceiling. How have I done that? I somehow have dragged the slideshow out of OBS. Madness. Wait, if I go Control Z, does that work? Nailed it. Oh, I'm such a tech genius. Such a tech genius. I'm playing Archer today. Go for it. We've spoken about Archer's data is not good, but that doesn't mean that you won't get something. The empty space above my head sounds like me explaining my empty noggin. I like that. Is Jared Bowen fit? That's a great question that we've not received at any point on this stream. But seriously, if you've just joined, update, we don't know. We don't know yet. I think he will play, but that's just a guess. Maybe, like, he hasn't even... It might just be Moyes playing mind games. Maybe, although, why are you playing mind games with Burnley? You know? Alanga or Palmer? Palmer, definitely. Ross, who is your girlfriend got as her captain for this game week? She's not with me today. She's at home. I would imagine she's captaining Haaland, knowing her. I think she does it just to upset me. Pretty sure she does it just to upset me. But yeah, I would imagine she's captaining Haaland this week. What was the last football game you went to see live, Ross? I mean, technically the Sidemen charity game, but before that I went to see Man United Arsenal at the Emirates. So, yeah, the last actual game was the Sidemen charity game, but the last Premier League game was Arsenal Man United. My girlfriend has just messaged me, you would be correct for now. That means that I could convince her to captain someone else. What do you know about cash? Just that I've got lots of it. Cash should be fine. He's been in training all week. I think Cash will feature. There's no doubts for me that Cash will play. My girlfriend has now said she's going to captain Hwang. Not bad fixture. Could be worse captaincy options. Should I start Wan-Bissaka? We'll concede, I think. So, no. Bro, just tell me about Ansu Fati. How would I know what De Zerbi's planning to do with his team? I've honestly got no idea. I would imagine Ansu Fati does start, but I don't know that. Start Alvarez or Palmer? Probably Palmer, to be honest. Is your girlfriend FPL Harry? Yes, you caught me. Matoma news. Matoma's out for Game Week 13. Confirmed by De Zerbi yesterday. So the update that we got is Matoma is out. Bowen is possibly available. I think that's it. Ross, what are your thoughts on Ola Aina as a differential? Forest fixtures look great. Yeah, I like Ola Aina, but he doesn't have much attacking threat. And Forest aren't the best defence. But yeah, Ola Aina's not an awful shout for a differential. What's your feeling on Kudus? Yeah, I love Kudus. No issues at all with Kudus. Fine transfer, good data, good fixtures. Nothing much to dislike about him other than there are other really good options on penalties and corners. Like, Kudus is just an open play goal threat and assist threat. He's not got much. It doesn't take any set pieces, I don't think. Is Darwin starting? No idea, but I'm hoping we find out in the next kind of 45 minutes or so. Sorry, I'm just checking the old Twitter to make sure we don't have any early team news yet. Yeah, I can't see anything yet. Oh, I didn't realise Darwin rose again overnight. Cool, Darwin's up to 7.6. What a man. What a man. Debating Tarkowski over Cash. What do you think? No, I'd start Matty Cash over Tarkowski. Can we do the Premier League predictions after? Absolutely. Post-deadline, we'll do the Premier League predictions for sure. Is Martinelli out injured? I hope not. Where did you see that? I don't think so. Ross, would you play Branthwaite or Simicast? Simicast. Branthwaite's got the greater chance for a clean sheet, but Simicast has the better attacking threat, so I'll probably go Simicast. Would you take a -4 to get Eze in for Diaby? I wouldn't do that, no, Emily. I think Diaby's great for this week and for next week. It's really from Game Week 15 that you don't want Diaby. Who has a better rank on FPL between you and your girlfriend? My girlfriend. She's just better at FPL. I've accepted it. It kind of ruins my credibility a bit, but oh well. Would you sell Hwang? I wouldn't sell Hwang this week. Ross, what are your tips for watching the Liverpool game during a wedding? Advice, please. You've just got a really poorly belly, mate. You just have to keep going to the toilet and doing very long poos. That's the only way to get around watching a football game at a social event. I mean, if possible, before they give the speeches, try and get up and make a speech about how bad your belly is. And they should expect you to be in the toilet for approximately 90 to 120 minutes. It's the only way. Juicy Demon Pickle. What a name. Juicy Demon Pickle says, I'm doing better than my boyfriend too. I'm not surprised with a name like that. Jesus. Hi, Ross. Saliba and Palmer for Cash and Gordon. Fine. Trippier and Solanke for Cash and Watkins. Less keen on that. Cash to James and roll the second. Love the goal. 1 or 3. 1 or 3, mate. I think Saliba and Palmer for Cash and Gordon's probably the most sensible moves there. So I would go 1. Hwang or Trossard for Matoma? I'm not a massive fan of either, to be honest. Probably Hwang, if you have to go for one of Hwang or Trossard. Sorry, I'm late. My car broke down. I'm sorry to hear that, Zodiac. Do we have any team news? No. Not yet. Ali says, I'm beating my hubby once again. He's furious. Why are all of the girlfriends and wifeys beating their husbands and boyfriends? Doesn't seem very fair to me. Doesn't seem very fair. Cash to Saliba if you already own Gabriel. Yeah. I don't think Arsenal were the best defence in the league this season. They're playing a lot more pragmatically this year, and it's making their defence even stronger. I think Raya's a better keeper than, or Raya, I should say, is a better keeper than Ramsdale. So I think Arsenal will continue to defend well. So I think Gabriel and Saliba is a nice double up. I don't have any Arsenal defenders. So why do people keep saying my players are injured? It's upsetting me. What would your defence look like on wildcard? I would have... Do you know what? I would be tempted by double Chelsea, double Arsenal. I'd be tempted by something like Saliba, Gabriel, James, Colwill. Genuinely. And then each week you can bench one if you want to. No early team news yet. I reckon we'll get early team news probably in the next kind of half an hour. Is FPL Brandon a reliable source? No, I blocked him because he's an idiot. That's a bit rude to say, but he's very, very rude to everyone, and he's not a source. Let me try and see what he said. I can't see anything. Oh, the Anfield talk. Yes, that's better. Let me show you this. Not necessarily, it's a bit cryptic, but we'll go with it. The Anfield talk. Darwin Nunez. Came from Benfica to the Big Reds. Darwin could be starting. It's exciting. Just in time for his hat-trick against Manchester City. Just in time for him to outscore Erling Haaland. That's what we like to see. That does mean that I've got to bench Alvarez, though, which is a bit sad. There we go. Not necessarily like... Oh, that... I would have thought Diaz would start. Interesting. I will share any other team news that I get with you, but looks decent for a Darwin start. What am I doing? Keep breaking things today. Ross, Captain Darwin. If it was anyone other than Man City away, I would be tempted. But, yeah, I mean, we can't, can we, against Man City away? If I don't feel comfortable captaining Salah, then I don't feel comfortable captaining Darwin. Eze or Solanke for this game week only? Eze still. Yusuf says, Darwin, FPL Harry, or your girlfriend? I would say Darwin, my girlfriend, and then FPL Harry. Sorry, Harry. Also, sorry, girlfriend, but Darwin is the one true love, you know? Darwin and I have had this relationship going for longer than I've had my relationship with my girlfriend. I think she knows where my priorities are, you know? She's going to kill me. Debating Tarkovsky over Cash. What do you think? No, I would start Cash. Start Palmer or Bowen? I would start Bowen, but I would also start Palmer. Cash to Saliba if you already own Gabriel. Oh, I answered that one, yeah. Love the double Arsenal defence. Who should I bench? Saka, Palmer, Eze, Kudus, or Mo? I mean, it probably is Palmer from those options, isn't it? My girlfriend said never coming to Nottingham ever again. Oh, no. She knows I don't mean it. I do mean it. I love Darwin. Palmer or Alvarez? I'd start Palmer there. Colwell or Gabriel? For the next few, Gabriel, but longer term, I like Colwell a lot. So we've got kind of an update on Bowen, but it's kind of just reaffirming what we already knew. But apparently Bowen is going to face a fitness test today ahead of the game, which tells us that Bowen probably has travelled with the team to Burnley, because obviously it's a long trip, so he's not going to get the fitness test done in London. So if he's getting his fitness test done today, he would have travelled with the squad, and if he passes it, he starts, I reckon. So I guess we might not fight. It depends when the fitness test is. You would imagine that it would be this morning, so maybe we'll get an update around that. Lots of people now reporting that Darwin starts, but I would predict, as always, that it's just going off what they saw from the Anfield rap or the Anfield talk, whoever it was. Like, people will see that there's rumours going around and then they'll all just start tweeting it as if it's their own news, but I think it's probably all from that same one source. Start Lascelles or Trent? Definitely Trent. Start Alvarez or Cash? Alvarez. Hello, Mr. Raptor. Bowen to Palmer and Cash to James. Is it a good deal given Chelsea's tough run of fixtures? By the way, love your content. Lots of love. Big love to you too. Bowen to Palmer, I'm not sure on. Don't think I like that. But Cash to James, I do like. And I think that's fine longer term. But neither of those moves are great this week. I made the move because I had 2 frees and I didn't see another place that I wanted to use my second free transfer. John says 2 spots for Darwin, Palmer, or Mbermo. Who to pick? I think you start. You got to start Mbermo. He's just too good not to. Palmer's on pens, so I'd maybe start Palmer and bench Darwin. But now we know that Darwin probably starts. That makes it a lot trickier. Start Archer or Diaby? Diaby, definitely. Yeah, Diaby. Is Saka a viable captain? Saka's not very good away from home. If it was Brentford at home, then yes. Not Brentford away. By the way, if you are watching the stream and you've not yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do subscribe and make sure to smash the like button as well. I do really appreciate it. We are fast approaching 106,000 subscribers. Just over 100 away. So if 100 of you could subscribe, we'll hit 106,000. Saka never gets a big haul. That is also true. If we look at Saka's points this season. A few information. He's only got a double-digit return once. And then a 9 and an 8. Other than that, I mean, he just ticks along. 6 assists, 4 goals. His open play goal threat hasn't been great this season, though. He's relied very much on penalties. I'm still not convinced by Saka. I may still sell Saka in the near future. Elo Kiyina has become a Rap Tier 2 member. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Ahmed says, cash to Saliba and Trippier to James/Castagna. I wouldn't sell Trippier myself. Cash to Saliba sounds good, but I don't like selling trips. Start Archer or Alvarez, thanks. It's got to be Alvarez for me. Archer's data is just so bad. Clive says, I'm selling Saka. Do you know what? I don't even hate that. I'm not convinced on Saka at the moment. There's a very good chance. Like a lot of people saying they're not convinced by Son. I'm much more worried by Saka than I am Son. Basically, in game week 16, for those of you that haven't watched my team selection video, I've got to sell one of Watkins, Son, or Saka to get Haaland. Son's the least likely at the moment. At the moment, I'm probably going back and forth between Saka and Watkins. I need to see more from Saka. I'd rather keep Saka than Watkins because of the penalties and the fixtures. But if I don't see more from him and Watkins continues to look decent, it may well be Saka that's the one that's sold to make way for Haaland. We've got just over half an hour, well, just under 40 minutes until the deadline. I would expect us to start getting more team news around now. The only thing we've got at the moment is a few people are suggesting that Darwin starts. To be fair, what else are we waiting on? I don't think we're really waiting for any other team news. Maybe some people want to know about... Maybe Saka... Tsimikas? I mean, Haaland and Alvarez will start. I would go as far as saying I will eat my cap if Alvarez and Haaland don't start. So I don't think that's a concern for early team news. Maybe we just want to get full confirmation on that. And maybe want to get more confirmation on Darwin. Yeah, maybe we are still. Maybe we do just want to get that full confirmation that Darwin starts from like a really reputable source that always gets it spot on. And maybe the same for Haaland and Alvarez as well. What makes you sure that Alvarez starts? I will show you. This. He started every game this season. I can't see that before Liverpool, when De Bruyne's not back yet, that Alvarez suddenly gets benched. I mean, he's got to start. I'd be so shocked if Alvarez doesn't start. I mean, he's played 90 in a lot of those games as well. Alvarez is fully nailed at the moment. As nailed as Haaland, genuinely. They've got no one else that can play the Alvarez role. Waiting to hear about Doku. I think Doku starts. I think Pep... So, Pep's going to have this decision to make. Look at me like I know more than Pep. Pep's going to have the decision to make. Does he want more control, which would mean Grealish, or does he want to isolate and make Trent have to track back a hell of a lot more with Doku? I think he'll try to pin Trent back with Doku. I know he likes to control games, but I don't think he'll think he can control this Liverpool game anyway. So I think he'll go Doku. Udogi, Cash, Lamptey, Lockyer, Trippier, bench 1. Lockyer versus Palace, which I quite like. I'd bench Lamptey there. Hugo, I'd bench Lamptey. Alan says, love you, Darwin, and your girlfriend. Thanks, mate. The three most important people in the world, me, my girlfriend, and Darwin. Can you spin the wheel to determine if I should captain Watkins, Haaland, Saka, or Bowen? We've already spun the wheel, Alan, and Watkins was the winner. Sorry, if I go silent and I'm just staring at my screen, it's because I'm seeing if we get any more early team news. What early team news do we have at the moment? At the moment, just some people rumoring that Darwin starts. We haven't got it from like a fully reputable source, one that I would say, yep, I'm now confident, but I reckon it'll be in the next 10 minutes. We'll get. I reckon we'll get something around Haaland and Alvarez for sure. Haaland posted a picture yesterday saying, "See you tomorrow." Yeah, he did. I think Haaland's fine. Alvarez is fine. Both Haaland and Alvarez will start, in my opinion. But you probably don't want my opinion. You probably want confirmation, which is what we're waiting for. Ross, what are the first 6 letters of your girlfriend's name? Darwin are the first 6 letters of my girlfriend's name. Want to get James and Saliba in next couple of weeks, says Dave. Is Watkins to Solanke a good move to raise money without selling Son Saka? Yeah, it's a tough one because, yeah, if you were to say now, do I want to sell Watkins, Son or Saka? It would be Watkins. But if Saka continues to struggle a bit, it may be that you prefer to keep Watkins and sell Saka. So, I don't know. The only one that I wouldn't want to sell is Son. So I think you need to make a decision, Dave, around Watkins and Saka. But yeah, Watkins to Solanke feels like a decent move, especially with a really nice fixture this week for Solanke. Do you think Cash starts, tempted to transfer to James? Yeah, Cash definitely starts. He's been in full training for the entire international break. For at least for the entire week. Is Bowen playing? Really don't know still, sorry. Don't think we're going to get team news around Bowen, which is a shame. Start Cash or Simicast? Cash. Do we have any leaks? The only leak at the moment is lots of people saying Darwin starts. And we've had confirmation, I suppose that is kind of a leak. We've had confirmation that Bowen is undergoing a late fitness test. So, yeah, by all accounts, we should... It means that he might be available for today, which is good, right? We've had that confirmation now, so I guess we'll see. It's very difficult for us to know if he's going to pass or fail the fitness test. So beyond that, unless we get news about the results of the fitness test, we probably won't find out about Bowen. It may even be that the fitness test takes place after 11. I have a feeling I'm going to regret benching Alvarez, yeah. But like the thing is, who do I bench for Alvarez? We've now got news that Darwin probably starts. Bowen's got too good of a fixture. The only player I could potentially bench for Alvarez is Martinelli. Which that maybe makes a bit of sense given the fact that Martinelli's really struggled recently and he played obviously a lot of minutes over the international break. But I think I just want to back Arsenal to do well in this game. For no good reason. Brentford are very, very good at home, but it just, yeah, it feels like I would rather back Martinelli than Alvarez for me. So that's the only player that I could see myself benching Alvarez for. Hex Primer says, wait, I just woke up. Sounds like my girlfriend every live stream when she falls asleep. Start Udogi or Cash? Probably just about Udogi. It's at home, and he's been decent this season, Udogi. Hey, Raptor, this is my first season playing. I'm at 1.5 mil. Is that good? Yeah, it's absolutely fine start. No issues at all. From here, you can now crack on, try and break into that top 1 million. I painted an egg to look like Ross. Beautiful. Thanks, Alan. It's very sweet of you. I hope it was a pretty egg. Is this the queue for the ice cream? What now? Yes. Where are all the FPL questions? Start Pau Torres or Taylor? Taylor. Eze or Ward-Prowse? Eze. What do you think of Sterling? I like Sterling, but I still prefer Palmer. Transferred Matoma for Eze, then Bowen for Mbermo early. Okay? So you got Eze and Mbermo. I like that. Leaving my defence with Gahey, Trippier and Lascelles with Cash and Tsimikas on the bench. Very worried about this week. Should I start Cash in place of Lascelles? I probably would, yeah, just because I think they'll both concede, but Cash has the higher attacking threat. But Lascelles is the better defender for like clean sheet potential, so I think they're both fine to start. Start Tsimikas or Ben White? I would start Ben White and hopefully Ben White starts for you. Is Bowen starting or go for Kudus, maybe for Son? We don't know if Bowen's starting, so if you don't... Oh, my camera's gone again. Having a nightmare. If you don't already own Bowen, I wouldn't transfer him in. And for me, just due to the doubts that we've got around Bowen, I wouldn't be captaining Bowen either. Any more team news? Not yet. The only team news that we've got, as I said a couple of times, is that Darwin is Darwin is leaked to start, but not from anyone overly reliable. I'm still waiting, from a source that you're like, I've seen it many, many times. Oh, that's interesting. And he's just deleted the tweet. Let me see if I can bring that up for you here. One sec. Let me get my camera back on. So the main source that we get for early... where are we? This one. The main source that we have for it... Oh, Ross, stop breaking things today. For early West Ham team news has just said... Let me switch to Twitter. And then let me grab this guy over here. Can you see that now? Yeah. So FPL fella tweeted... And then this guy says, any chance we get news whether Bowen starts before the deadline? And FPL fella said, I doubt it. And then ex-West Ham employee, who is the source for early team news and anything for West Ham, says, I know it. I know whether he will start or not, but would never put it out early so not to give any advantage to the opposition. And then I clicked on it, and it says this doesn't exist. So he's deleted his tweet, but that was the tweet. So sadly, the one source that we probably rely on for Bowen news isn't going to share the Bowen news. Which is a shame. The fact that he said that, though, that makes me think Bowen starts. I don't know why. I don't know why. I want to grab you, bring you back over there. Okay. Cool. Too many tabs open on different screens, trying to do different things all at once. Multitasking. Yeah, sorry, let me answer those few super chats that I've missed. Sell Cash or Tsimikas for Castagna or Watkins to Isak. I don't like either of those, but I prefer Tsimikas to Castagna. One to bench, Fatty, Darwin, Diaby or Alvarez. I would bench Fatty because he's the most likely to be benched himself, and Forest are actually pretty good at home. Joshy Boy says, I have the money to bring in Trippier in one transfer. Is that a good idea, or should I opt for someone cheaper and save the money? Depends how well you think Trippier will do over this busy period with pretty tough fixtures, but I think Trippier is still a good transfer, yeah. And actually, his ownership isn't that high anymore. Lots of people moved off of him. Lots of people can't afford him now, so he's a relative differential, especially in a lot of mini leagues. What are your thoughts on Kudus for Matoma? I don't own Bowen/Mbermo. I prefer Mbermo to Kudus, but if you're not going to go Mbermo and you don't like Eze, for me, it's like Mbermo, Eze, Palmer, Kudus. Like, Kudus would be my fourth favourite option. You are literally a psychology lecturer. Show us your skills on analysing that deleted tweet. I wish I could. I wish I could. Start Cash or Gahey? Do I start Diaby? I have Son. I would start Gahey and I would start Diaby, yeah. Right, you've got just over 20 minutes until the deadline. Make sure your teams are like locked in to some extent, because I think if we get news that like something happens, there could be a heavy load on the server. So make sure you're happy with your team as it is, and hopefully we get you some more team news in the next 20 minutes. I'm surprised we haven't got more team news. Sorry, you're just hearing me silently scrolling, trying to see if we can find anything. Right, I can't see anything for now. I'll get back to answering your questions for a sec. Start Fabian Schär or Cash? I would start Fabian Schär. AG has been a member for 25 months, over 2 years being a member. I love that. Hey, Ross, would you sell Cash or Bowen this week? Would be for Saliba or Eze? I would go Cash to Saliba. I prefer to Bowen to Eze. Just in case Bowen does start. Lascelles or Cash? Probably Cash in that instance, just because he doesn't have the same attacking threat as someone like a Fabian Schär. Bench Sterling or Palmer? Oh, I don't like benching either, but I would rather start Palmer just because he's got on pens, whereas obviously Sterling isn't. Start Diaby or Alvarez? I would start Diaby in that case. The best Cash replacement, 0 in the bank, and what to do with Adingra. The best Cash replacement with 0 in the bank, Gabriel or Colwill. And Adingra, I think you're fine to keep Adingra for 1 or 2 more weeks, but I think longer term, sell Adingra. His minutes aren't secure and his data's not great either. Bench Alvarez or Palmer? I think I would bench Alvarez, believe it or not. What do you think of Cash to Sofau and Bowen to Ward-Prowse for a -4? Cash to Sofau and Bowen to Ward-Prowse for a -4. I don't like Bowen to Ward-Prowse. Cash to Sofau's fine. I wouldn't be bringing in West Ham players at the moment, to be honest. They've not been that impressive, especially defensively. I think I prefer Cash to another defender than Sofau, but if you want to make one of those moves, Cash to Sofau, I don't like Bowen to Ward-Prowse. Hey Ross, love the stream. Martinelli to Palmer or Bruno Fernandes to Palmer? I mean, if you have to make the move this week, I'd rather sell Martinelli than Bruno. For all of the issues that Man United have, Bruno's data is still good. Bruno's still on pens, and his minutes are secure. With Martinelli, especially with the busy period, his minutes aren't secure, his data's poor, and he's not on any penalties. In fact, Trossard was taking corners ahead of Martinelli as well. So I'm not a massive fan of Martinelli. I mean, I know I have him, but he'll be sold next week for me. Why Darwin over Alvarez? Just much better data. I'm a sucker for some good data. By the way, for captaincy, we've now had over 10,000 votes on the live stream, which is crazy. We've got 47% on Haaland, 29% on Son, 17% on Salah, and then 8% on other. So around half of you are captaining Haaland. Alvarez, Matoma, Trippier, Saka to Haaland, Saliba, Eze, McAtee, or a 4.4 million mid for for a -8. Love you, my fellow Rossi boy. I hate that. Because I think you're selling Alvarez, Trippier, and Saka just to get Haaland back in. I suppose Saliba and Eze are nice as well. If you desperately want Haaland back in, I don't mind those moves, Ross. Like, if you've decided you want Haaland back in your team, then yeah, go for it. Sophie says, should I replace Matoma with Mbermo or Eze or Palmer? Thanks in advance, Ross. I definitely think Mbermo's the best, but he's the worst this week. So it really depends. If you can get Mbermo in through another player next week, I would go Eze this week. If your only route to Mbermo is in that Matoma spot, then I would do Mbermo this week. Hopefully that makes sense. It is a week early to move on Mbermo, but for a lot of people, that is the only spot that they can bring Mbermo in anyway. So I wouldn't make a transfer to bring in Eze and then next week take out Eze for Mbermo. That just doesn't make sense to me. Start Cash or Gakey. Oh, I did that one. Start Share or Cash. Did that one. Bench 1. Palmer, Martinelli, and Bowen. Honestly, probably Martinelli. Genuinely out of those three. Right, just over 15 minutes till the deadline, and I am shocked that we've got no Man City team news. Not that we need it. Again, I'd bet my house that I don't even own that Alvarez and Haaland both start. But I am still surprised we didn't get any. Why'd you move to James? Great fixtures, great defense, great attacking data. James has literally everything you would want from a player apart from the fact he gets injured every 2 seconds. But if he can stay fit, he's the best defender in the game. I think James is better than Trippier. I think James is better than Trent. I don't think people realise how good Reece James is when he's fit. So I'm banking on the fact that he stays fit by bringing him in. I really hope Bowen starts. Bowen could be really, really nice this week as a decent differential if he starts, because he wasn't that highly owned anyway. A lot of people would have sold him. No one's going to have captained him. This will be the first week since when I went without Haaland in game week 8 that I'll be captaining someone other than Salah. It feels horrible. I love captaining Salah, but I just don't think this is the week to do it. -8 for Son to Saka and Douglas Luiz to Mbermo. I wouldn't take a -8 to sell Son, no. I mean, I'm captaining Son. So no. No, Finn, I wouldn't do that. Will Doku start? I think so. But other people are predicting Grealish to start, so I don't know. I would, if I was Pep, I would start Doku. But I'm not Pep. I'm just another bald man. Make sure your bench boost isn't activated. Yeah, I can do. Yeah, we're fine. No bench boost activated. I was really hoping we'd get more definitive news around Alvarez, Haaland, and Darwin. That's mental. I mean, we're normally peppered with early team news. Wow, that chat is moving fast. Start Gordon or Alvarez? Probably Alvarez for me there. Who shall I captain? Salah, Eze, Kudus, or Solanke? Out of those options there, Salah. Start Alisson or Areola this week? Areola. Bench 2, Gabriel, Maguire, Mbeumo, Bowen, Darwin. I would bench... I mean, if you can bench the 2 defenders, I'd probably do that. And I'd probably start Mbeumo, Bowen, Darwin. If you have to bench 1 defender, 1 attacker, I think you bench Maguire and Maguire and Darwin, probably. Why not captain Bowen and vice Son if he's fit, he starts? Because we don't 100% know if he's fit, he starts. He may genuinely come off the bench. Or, if he is struggling with an injury, he could re-aggravate the injury and come off after 20 minutes. So, I think when someone's an injury doubt, I still don't feel fully comfortable captaining them. Raptor, should I start Douglas Luiz or Archer? Archer. Oh, yeah, Douglas Luiz is on pens, though. But actually, I'd be tempted by Douglas Luiz. Corners, penalties, and in a game where I expect goals. I would be tempted by Douglas Luiz over Archer, genuinely. How are we not getting tons of early team news? Sorry, chat. I mean, we've still got 10 minutes. You never know. I was expecting more, I'll be honest. Clubs hopefully sacking the leakers. Love to see it. To be honest, I would rather there were no leaks or loads of leaks. What I don't think is fair is when there's a leak like 1 minute before the deadline and it's only available to a few people. I would rather we get tons of leaks where everyone can make the moves accordingly. You know, like when we find out like 3 hours before the deadline, Haaland starts great. Or I would rather there were no leaks. It's this in-between where there are a few little rumours, but nothing overly reliable. Flapjack says, Guten Tag, Ross. Guten Tag, Flapjack. Who, in your opinion, should I bring in for Bowen and Matty Cash for a -4? I wouldn't sell Bowen. Why do you want to sell Bowen? I would keep Bowen. I would just do Matty Cash to Saliba. And if you can't afford Saliba, Gabriel or Cole are fine. I've done Trippier and Matoma to James and Palmer. Fair enough, Liam. Next week, I will do Trent to Tsimikas. Okay? And Alvarez to Haaland for my first -4 of the season. What are your thoughts? Yeah, it sounds like a nice plan. I don't love selling Trippier, but to allow you to get back to Haaland, it makes sense. Adam says, Cash, Gabriel, Tsimikas, Gakey. Any longer-term replacements? Son to Mbeumo and Cash to Trippier. Don't want to burn a transfer. 0.1 in the bank. Yeah, you could do that. I don't like selling Son, but I do like the idea of getting Trippier and Mbeumo. So, yeah, I feel like that's a nice set of moves. Chris says, morning, bruv. Any last-minute news? I have Alvarez. Nothing, I'm afraid. Sadly. Ben, or apart from Darwin, probably starts. But we haven't got anything definitive. Solanke or Gibbs-White for captain, or am I an idiot? I don't love either of those, but they are both on pens, so you could go for it. I think there are better captaincy options for me this week, though. Start Mbeumo or Alvarez? Mbeumo for me. Castagna or James, just considering the next 3 games? Probably still Reece James, but the fixtures are definitely better for Castagna. Start Ferguson for Solanke or Wood? No, I would start Solanke and Wood. Play Diaz, bench for Archer, or transfer to Mbermo. I'd be tempted to just go to Mbermo. Right, you've got less than 10 minutes till the deadline. Make sure you've got your teams relatively locked in. I'll tell you what, chat, very surprised and disappointed. I thought we would get more, but we didn't. City Extra are predicting an Alvarez rest. Surely not. Okay, maybe he's not as nailed as I thought. City Extra, who are quite... This is a prediction, by the way, not a leak, from over an hour ago, are predicting an Alvarez rest. I would be flabbergasted if Alvarez doesn't start, but you never know. Start Trent or Udogie? Probably Trent. Start Cash or Simicast? Cash for me. Cash for me, yeah. He's slightly more attacking and also... he's slightly more attacking and I think slightly higher chance for a clean sheet. Is Haaland starting? Haaland will start, yeah. I mean, we've got no confirmation on that, but Haaland will start. If Haaland doesn't start, well, he will. I'm not even going to entertain the possibility that he won't. Oh, Haaland starts. There we go. Here we go, chat. Let me bring 1 second. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. I'm here. I'm here. Nobody panic. Twitter. Bang. This guy, FPL Tony. Hello. Where's my tweet that I just made? FPL Tony, this guy is quite reliable. Says that Haaland starts. So, confirmation. We'll have to wait and see if he says anything on Alvarez. Everyone's asking him on Alvarez. We'll see what he says. But yeah, reliable guy. You can scroll Twitter with me, actually. Let's see if we can see anything. We'll go on. Yeah, we're on for you. Nothing yet. Has anyone tagged me in anything? Cap looking yummy, Ross. I'm kind of hoping he tweets something about Alvarez. Nothing yet. Okay. We'll wait. I'll keep you updated, though. Is Jesus fit? Not sure whether to have Nketiah ahead of Saliba on the bench. I think he is fit, but he played 90 minutes for Brazil. So I think it'll actually be... It will be Trossard or Nketiah that starts through the middle. But it could be Trossard rather than Nketiah. I would have Saliba ahead of Nketiah, probably. Just. But I mean, I don't know why Saliba's not starting for you anyway. Is Luis Diaz starting? I don't know. The prediction is that it's Jota, Darwin, and Salah, but it could be anyone. Play Diaz, bench for Archer, or... I did that one. Yeah, transfer to Mbama, I think I said. Ah, come on. Give us something really reliable on Darwin, because I'm still a bit worried. I'm still a bit worried. Gakey or Cash? Whoa, I'm lagging out a bit. Cash. No, Gakey. I'd start Gakey there. Udogi or Alvarez to start? Alvarez. Onana or Areola? Oof, Areola. What early team news do we have? We have early team news that Haaland definitely starts. Darwin is leaked to have started by some accounts, but no one that I fully trust. Other than that, nothing, sadly. I thought we would definitely be getting a lot more, but we've not. We do still have a few minutes till the deadline, though, so you never know. I was trying to get news on Darwin and Alvarez, but I guess we just hope. Yeah, I guess we just hope and pray that Darwin does start. Lots of people saying Alvarez starts, but again, nothing from any like truly reliable sources. But I think based on what we've seen, it should be Haaland, Alvarez, and Darwin are all starting. Hopefully. Make sure you get your teams locked in less than 2 minutes until the deadline. Sell Alvarez and Bowen for Darwin and Eze for a -4. I wouldn't do that, no. Captains, Haaland or Son? I think it's a 50-50. Whoever your gut feeling is telling you, just go that way. Alvarez isn't in the 11. Okay, Alvarez doesn't start. Code red. Alvarez doesn't start. Interesting. Do I want to sell Alvarez? No, I don't. I just bench Alvarez. Okay. Let me get you that. 2 seconds. Alvarez doesn't start. You got 1 minute till the deadline, but I can confirm that Alvarez doesn't start. So Haaland and Darwin probably starting. Alvarez not. There you go. Confirmation. Haaland and Doku start. Alvarez not in the 11. I did say that I would eat my hat if Alvarez doesn't start, but we'll ignore the fact that I said that and we'll just pretend no, I didn't say that. No, I didn't say that. No, I'm not eating my hat. Alvarez doesn't start though, so make your moves accordingly. So yeah, I'm going to keep Alvarez on the bench then. That's good for me. Makes it a lot easier to decide who I'm starting out of Darwin and Alvarez. Oh, Alvarez gets his first bench in. Very interesting. Right, that is the deadline. I know that was very late, but hopefully not too late. Eat your hat. No, you eat your hat. You eat your... No, you eat your hat. Listen. Listen. For like... Yeah, listen. No. Liar, liar. Bon appetit, mate. Who get... Oh, yeah, I did say I would bet my house, didn't I? I did say I would bet my house. I was wrong. No, I'm not. I'm not eating my hat. You eat your cat. I'm not eating my cat. Listen here, chat. Stop it. No. Not eating my hat. Now the egg needs to come out. No FPL pickle. I'm not getting my egg out. Listen, the deadline goes and everyone starts being mean to me. You eat it. No, stop telling me to eat it. I need to tweet my team. Oh, that was wild. Wild stuff. Let me quickly tweet. Right. This one here. Done. Is that the one? Nice. No, look, why is everyone tagging me saying I've got to eat my hat? I'm not eating my hat. Go away. Give us a nibble. Reese says Hatsu Curry. Oh, I like that, Reese. Good job. Hatsu Curry's pretty funny. Oh, God. Hatsu Curry. I like that. Well, I hope Bowen does start now, because if not, I've got Alvarez coming off the bench. Gonna pray for you that James doesn't get injured. FPL Pickle, that kind of sounds like passive-aggressive. Kind of sounds like a threat. I'm not gonna lie. Pray for you that James doesn't get injured, even though he will, you know. Oh, my girlfriend sent me her team as well. One sec. Yeah, she captained Haaland. She's such a mug. Such a mug, honestly. That is the girlfriend's team. What do we rate it? Why is it such a good team? Like this week to have Areola, Saliba, Gahey, Gabriel, Saka, Hwang Hee-chan. Like that's actually just a banging team. Really annoys me. Yeah, give it a rating out of 10. Rate it out of 10, chat. What do we rate her team? Rating out of 10. 9, 8.5, 9, 9. Why are you so nice to her and you're not nice to me? Rude. It's rude. She said, ha ha ha, thanks, chat. Because she has Haaland. Because you sold Haaland. Okay, fair. You just... a bunch of Haaland lovers. We'll see how well Haaland does without Alvarez, eh? Still waiting for you to start munching on the cap. The FPL Juice has gifted 1 Raptor membership. Thank you, the FPL Juice. That's very kind of you. There was no need for you to do that, but I appreciate that very much. Who did you gift the membership to? Who got it? Skimpton. Skimpton, you have just been gifted a membership by the FPL Juice show. So say thank you. I don't know if that is James, Ash, or Nick. I'm going to assume James. But thank you very much. I appreciate it. Raptor's girlfriend is better than Raptor when it comes to FPL. She should be making the videos. She is the mastermind behind it all. She is the mastermind behind everything. Lick your hat. Will you stop trying... Have I got a hat over here? No, I don't have any hats with me. I'm not eating this hat because I'm wearing this hat. I'm not going to eat the stuff that I'm supposed to be wearing. Raptor, whom did your girlfriend captain? She captained Haaland. She's the dinosaur and you're the egg. Yeah. Premier League moment that put a tear in your eye. Van Persie's volley against Aston Villa. Was it Aston Villa? Why do I feel like it was... Yeah, it was Aston Villa. Yeah. Van Persie's volley against Aston Villa in 2022-23. Should we watch it together? Let's watch it together. Don't know if my screen will allow us to watch it together, but let's try and watch it together. This... Oh, it's not going to show it very well, is it? Rude. Oh. Let me tell you, I loved... That was probably my favourite season as a Man United fan. honestly. Van Persie, I fell in love with him. I never thought I would. I was like, oh, dirty Arsenal player coming to Manchester United. No chance. But the man is a legend. I can't believe Alvarez is benched. Oh, for God's sake. Nice. Nice. Oh God. Look at all these boring managers captaining Haaland. Did you see what I tweeted earlier? This is you if you captain Haaland. That's your meal deal. This is what Haaland captainers have for lunch. You don't even deserve Evian water. You just get like Tesco's own water. A ham sandwich with no mayonnaise and some not even ready salted crisps. You deserve, what are those? The salt and shake crisps, but you don't get the salt. You just have the plain crisps. That's what you deserve. Outrageous behaviour, just captaining Haaland every week. God, I love Van Persie. Did I say 2020? I meant, okay, I'm just checking. I meant 2012, 2013. You knew what I meant. You know what I meant. Van Persie in 2012, 2013 was beautiful. Gonna have to call him Van Persel because that was clean. I like that brand. FPL Pickle says you're just jealous. Jealous of Haaland? Haaland's basically just a crap version of Archer. If I was to rate talent in the Premier League, we'd sound like Solanke, Archer, Haaland. All jokes aside, I actually don't know if I can watch the Man City Liverpool game. It's terrifying not owning Haaland. Like it's absolutely horrific. You might think it's bad not captaining him. You will not know fear until you don't own Haaland. Oh, I forgot about Chris Wood. Okay, Solanke, Archer, Chris Wood, Haaland. Haaland has a poster of Archer on his wall. Yeah, I heard that as well. I heard that. Should we predict the Prem games? I think I've already done them, sadly, but we can sort of... Maybe I've changed my thinking a little bit. Do you know what? Let me start again. We can do them live together now. I'll get rid of all my scores so that you can't see them. I don't know why Super 6 aren't sponsoring my streams yet. If anyone knows anyone at Super 6, tell them to sponsor my streams because they just get free shout-outs all the time. Right, we're going to predict the games. First game, Newcastle versus Chelsea. Eggy is stressed most weekends when watching the games at the moment. That's a fact. That is a fact. That's a stressed egg. Do you have LinkedIn? Yes. Newcastle Chelsea, talk to me. I would love this to be 0-0. So if some of you want to start predicting 0-0, because I've got James and Trippier, that would be wonderful. That would give me a real rank boost. One ones, 2-1s, 2-2s. I agree with you guys. I don't think there's tons of goals in this game. I've gone for 2-1 Newcastle. But yeah, if one of the teams could keep a clean sheet, that would be better for me. But yeah, I'll go 2-1 Newcastle. It's Ash, Mo, and Tom watching on Streamception. I've only just seen that. Well, thank you very much, Ash, Mo, and Tom. I appreciate you. You did not have to do that, but it's very kind. From Ash, when is Raptor coming to the FPL Juice show? Whenever you want me, or whenever I'm free, to be fair, because not whenever you want me. Whenever I'm down in London and I'm also free. Your phone has a hole. My phone doesn't have a hole. You'll see here. It's because it's green. And my green screen cuts out anything that's green. My screen doesn't have a hole. Right. What was we doing? Okay, Nottingham Forest versus Brighton. Forest versus Brighton. What are we predicting? I'm going to say... Yeah, I've got a prediction for this. Forest versus Brighton. 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1. Lots of people saying 2-1, but in like other directions. 1-1. 0-0. Forest are a good home side. Forest are good at home, yeah, but Brighton are also a decent team. Have you noticed, by the way, that Brighton have drawn their last 3 games 1-1? Their last 3 games in a row for Brighton have been 1-1. I'm going for a surprise result here. I've actually gone for Brighton to still win. That is based on nothing, because Brighton haven't been great and Forest are great at home and whatnot, but I just have a feeling that Brighton might edge it. So yeah, I'll go Brighton 2-1. Okay, next one. These are very difficult to predict this week. West Ham versus Burnley. What are we saying for that, chat? West Ham versus Burnley. You can see like what people predict as well. Why am I repping Skybet so much? This is what the pundits have predicted as well. I'm going to be really optimistic. You know me, not always optimistic, but I am optimistic right now. I'm going to be optimistic and predict a West Ham clean sheet. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to go for West Ham 1-0. Bowen goal. Bowen 11-pointer. Areola 7-pointer. 18 points between Areola and Bowen. There you go. There's the optimism for you. I really hope Bowen starts. Oh, chat, we're only 7 subscribers away from 106,000. Could 7 of you that are watching right now subscribe, please? Thanks. Any early team news on Haaland? Yeah, Haaland starts. Right, the next game. Brentford versus Arsenal. Another tricky one to predict. Brentford versus Arsenal. What are we saying? Just subscribed. Thanks, guys. Did we get 7 of you listening to me? Yeah, there you go. We had exactly 7. Thank you to the 7 of you that have just subscribed. 3-1 Arsenal, 4-1 Arsenal, 2-0 Arsenal, 2-1 Arsenal, 3-1 Arsenal. Lots of people saying 3-1 Arsenal. And believe it or not, that's exactly what I've gone for. I've gone for 3-1 Arsenal. That is slightly optimistic of me because I have Martinelli and Saka and I don't own an Arsenal defender. But yeah, if they could score a few goals and concede, that would be ideal for me. Ideal situation. Right, next one. Spurs versus Villa. These are some difficult games to predict this week. Spurs versus Villa. What are we saying? Spurs versus Villa. 4-3, 3-3, 4-2. Yeah, Claudette says 4-2. Jamie says 2-2. Oh, no, Jamie says 2-3. Villa to win. (2-1) Villa. I hope there's more goals than 2-1. I've gone for 2-2. I think it will be a draw. But I could see one of the teams edging it, definitely. But yeah, I'll go for 2-2. Okay, final game to predict. Manchester United versus Everton. Manchester United versus Everton. What are we saying? Everton off the back of their 10-point ban. Are they going to go out and try and prove a point? Will Manchester United be decent away from home? 3-1 United, 1-0 to Everton, 4-0 to United. That's optimistic. 0-0, 1-0 Everton. 1-0 Man United, Bruno penalty. That is a very Man United result, isn't it? Lots of people saying 0-0. I agree, I don't think there's tons of goals in this, but I've gone for 1-1. 1-1. Right, let me resubmit those predictions. There you go then. Those are my predictions up the top. Decent. What app is this? It's Sky Super 6. Super 6. Oh, feel free to ask me any more questions. I'll be streaming for another 15, 20 minutes or so. We'll get the early team news, and then I'll probably bounce after that. Mainly because my tongue has been cut into a million pieces. I almost stopped the stream. I've been in so much pain, actually. Not great. I would show you, but it's a bit gross. The Invisalign's really sharp, so it's cutting my tongue quite badly. Ross, when are you doing your book tour? Book tour? You mean this book? Oh, this book? By, where's my name? There's my name. It's my book. Hello, that's me. Listen to the noise it makes. Great. ASMR. ASMR for you. Raptor does ASMR. You're really selling that Invisalign thing. It's rough. It's a rough life. But my teeth, look at the impeccable. Ross, will you join us on FFTV for the Man United preview towards the end of December? Maybe. End of December is quite bad for me because I'm like home for Christmas and I'm going to see my girlfriend and stuff. So maybe, but maybe not. I can't really confirm yet. Is this an ASMR stream now? Yeah. What do? They like tap things. There you go. There's an ASMR stream here for you. Can't believe you copied my teeth. I did, Yelena. I went into the dentist, the orthodontist, and I said, please, I want to have Yelena's teeth. That's what I said. Alvarez starts, apparently. Wait, what? Surely not. Oh. Oh, my girlfriend's so cute. I can't cope with her. Oh my God, Alvarez starts. Oh no. How did that source get that? Lazy FPL never get it wrong. Oh dear. Oh dear. I would like to see what happens there then. Ah, it's in my eye. What is that in my eye? Don't eat your hat. Oh my God, this means I don't have to eat my hat. Success. No, I don't still need to eat my hat. Oh. Big stretch. Here we go. Oh, yeah. That was a good one. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. What a kerfuffle. Oh, my light went. Goodbye, light. I actually don't know what's happened here. Yeah. Yeah, loads of people now saying Alvarez starts. Okay. Well, the good thing is for me, that means if Bowen doesn't feature, I have a better first sub. Do you know what? I'll take it as a win. I'll take it as a win that if Bowen doesn't feature, at least I have a better first sub. I was surprised that Alvarez was benched. I mean, I literally went on a rant about the fact that he'll never be benched. I'll be interested to see what Lazy FPL say. Yeah, very interesting. Well, I mean, we'll get the official news in 5 minutes, but yeah. Looks like Alvarez does start. That's the third person confirmed it then. No Grealish in the squad. Grealish isn't even in the squad. Wow. Ross, do they mould the Invisalign to your specific teeth structure and needs? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course. Thank God for that. I was going to have to eat my hat for lunch, but now I don't have to eat my hat. That was a close call. For what it's worth, chat, I do apologise for giving incorrect info, but they're always correct. They've been correct every single week on Man City news. I don't know what happened there. Simicast starts. We've got the Liverpool lineup here. Attacking lineup from Man City. But yeah, there's the Liverpool lineup. Matip starts. No Canate. I'm not feeling great now as a Haaland non-owner, I must admit. But you never know. You never know. Haaland versus Matip. If it's the Matip of old, then we could be expecting something decent. If it's the Matip of recent years, then we're screwed. Order a Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Eat your fleece for bad advice. I didn't give any bad advice. I just gave you the early team news that we had. Is that a block for the wrong Alvarez news? I'm waiting for an explanation from them. Yeah, I'll be interested to see what their explanation is for getting it wrong, because they never do. Maybe you should have bench boosted. And nah, Turner doesn't play. Simicast will concede. Taylor will concede. Alvarez might do well, but yeah, it was never a bench boost week. I'm off. Have a great weekend, Sir Ross. Thank you very much. You have a great weekend too. How long before they posted did they have the wrong intel? What? How long before they posted did they have the wrong... I don't really understand the question. My best chance to speak to you, Ross. You're right, mate. Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm good. How are you? What are Oscar and Harry saying? Best case for you is Haaland subbed off early and Bowen doesn't play at all. Why is best case for me Bowen not playing? Oh, you're wondering how long they held the news. Yeah, they probably didn't get it 2 minutes before the deadline. They probably held it that long on purpose. Interesting. So someone's just said, so you know Grealish isn't in the team. Apparently, Alvarez was due to be benched, but Grealish picked up a late injury, which is why Grealish isn't in the squad, and it's why Alvarez now starts. That would make a lot of sense. So then kind of technically both pieces of information would be true. Well, we get confirmation in a minute, but we have the teams now, but just to confirm, we'll get that stuff now. So we'll look at that quickly. There you go. Don't need to eat my hat. Don't need to. Don't need to eat my hat, do I? Will this picture stop coming up on my Twitter and get demonetized? All right, here we go. We'll go straight to the Man City team to confirm. Yep, as expected. Foden, Doku, Alvarez, Haaland, Bernardo, Rodri. That is a very attacking team. That bench stinks. That is a stinky bench. Wowzer. That's the stinkiest bench I've seen from Man City in long. They've got 2 goalkeepers on the bench. They've got 2 goalkeepers and 5 defenders. Bob is the only non-defender. And listen, Bob's great, but wow, that is a stinky, stinky bench. Where's Liverpool? Okay, Darwin starts. That is true. Darwin, Salah, Jota, as we thought. Jones, Soberslai, McAllister, Simicast, Van Dijk, Matip, Trent, Allison. So the teams as we saw from the early team news. Top-notch content. Thanks for the work every week to give us the best FPL content around. Thank you very much, Jason, and you are more than welcome. Right. I think, chat, I'm going to call it there. A little bit earlier than normal, but I feel like we've had a busy stream. Time to relax now and watch Haaland batter my rank even further, which is lovely. Oh, the camera's gone. Look at that. It's like it was meant to be. All right then, chat. I love you lots. I will catch you tomorrow or Monday for a transfer plans video, and then obviously the regular content throughout the week. Have a great weekend. I'll see you later.